Hi, okay, that looks really dark. I should probably get into a place where that's less dark. But I'm at my parents' house, right? And I'm in the living room, which is attached to the kitchen, which is over there, and it's late. My father likes to come up. He lives downstairs. I mean, he stays downstairs, and he comes up, and it's just so I'm in the living room, and it's just, I wanted to kind of creep in the dark over there so he wouldn't see me if he came up, but that didn't work out. Anyway, I wanted to come on to talk a little bit about a conversation I had earlier this evening in the Build Your Business and Profit Generator Coaching class with Dr. Terry Wager, Miss Christine McGinley, and their coach, Mitch, whose last name is escaping me right now. There was their coach, it was like a sales coach, and he, sorry, got a little, he's here, that's my dad. Okay, yep, all right. So we were talking about, he's such a strange guy. We were talking about, he won't hear me. So we're talking about sales, and their coach was there talking about sort of a different mindset approach to sales that even, I've been kind of researching the subject for a while because, it's something I need to learn, and I've been one of those people who do not like the idea of sales, who don't want to do it, who have a negative mindset about it. And even though I belong to a group who's very sales positive, and whose mindset on it is about serving people, which I'm into. That's kind of like what I like to do. Like that's what's going to get me going in sales. Like it's not going to be that, like sales, like use sales card. It's my father. He's at the sink. It's not going to be like I'm not like a used sales carsman kind of salesperson. I don't think many people are these days, but we're talking about a lot of different concepts that maybe I've sort of skirted the edges in. One of them was really interesting. It was this concept of, I can't remember if he called it like 3 values or something like that. I don't remember exactly how he referred to it, but it was about souls, roles, and goals. And people, he was saying people generally, like often, go for the goals first, set the goals, and then they have, they after they've done, they go after the goals, they set the goals, and then they spend their energy on that, and then after that, they kind of figure out what the role they have to play is in order to get the goal. And then if there's time, they work on their soul, get the soul into alignment, stuff like that. And he was just saying how it's, it's sort of the best way to do it is the opposite. You work on your soul, you get that into alignment, and then your role comes from that. And then your goal comes from that, right? And it really struck me. I was like, okay, yeah, like that's kind of what's been happening in my life anyway. Like as a matter of course, I've been getting my emotional, my soul and my emotional well-being and stuff like that. And from there, since I've been doing that, a role is emerging, like a more clear role of what I want to be, who I want to be, and what I want to be doing. Like how I want to present myself in the world, how I want to bring myself to the world, not present myself, but bring myself into the world. And from there, that's my goal has proceeded from there. So that was a really interesting way of thinking about it. And then the guy also had this, there was a billion different things that he talked about that it was just like, I got to take this in. So at the end of the class, they were asking for questions, and one of my friends from the group, Matt, was like, that's just a lot to take in. I don't have any questions because I have to take that all in. And I just kind of chimed up. I was like, yeah, I agree. And Terry spoke up, and he was like, Jen can't think of a question right now, but I'm going to ask a question on her behalf because I know her. We've talked about this several times before, and I think Jen has a problem, not a problem, but I think Jen's concern is, about she doesn't feel like she has the skills to sell. She doesn't feel like she has the skill set to sell. And that's true. I mean, I don't have the skill set. But, he was just like, can you tell her a little bit how, that can be learned, or whatever it was that he was saying. And, it's funny. I was thinking about it. I was like, it's not exactly that my concern is that I don't have the skills. Like, I clearly don't. And I know that skills can be learned. I think it's more about my concern. My concern is about ability. And that's because, like, I have, I've read materials, not as many materials as I should about sales and the approach that I want to take. But I am getting involved in a different group that is more about organic sales and marketing. And, I'm learning a bit more about that, but I can definitely delve deeper into it. But with the stuff that I have read about it, I kind of thought I was figuring things out. I was like, oh, okay, no, I get it. This is cool. This is great. And so I texted Walter at one point about something, and I was like, oh, and then I could say this. I was like, oh, no, you know what would be better? This would be better. And I was like, oh, no, you know what? Actually, given this and this and this, all the stuff I'm learning, I've got it. I know what I'm going to say. And I wrote out this whole thing. And Walter, being who he is he's like, that's my father. I'm sorry. Like, you're going to hear some man noises in just a minute. You're going to hear some like futzing around, and some old man noises is about what you're going to hear. So I really thought I was getting, like, understanding the sales thing. Like, I was reading this book, and I was getting it. I was like, okay, I get this. I've got it. I know exactly what I want to say, and it's so perfect. I was so excited about it. I was like, oh, I know. I got it. Oh my God, it's like Eureka, right? And I text Walter, who's, my mentor and my business partner. And I was like, okay, I've got it. I know what I'm going to say. And I texted it all out, and I was like, isn't that brilliant? And, like, God bless him, Walter's like, oh my God, it is awesome that you're thinking this way. Look at all this progress you're making. I think it's fantastic that you're reading these books. And he's like, in this situation, something like this. He's like, in this situation, I think it's best to keep it, like, short. The more you say, like, the less people trust you. Not you specifically, but, and you can just probably say blah, 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 whatever it was. And he's like, and that would probably be the best idea. And I was like, first off, what he said is just like, duh, obviously that's the best way to do it. And then it was so far off. I was so far off. And I thought I had it. I was like so close. I was like, I've got it. Eureka. Like, I really felt like light dawned on Marblehead, and I finally understood this concept. And instead, like, I was so far away from what the actual solution was. And I'm not used to that. I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm used to studying something, getting it, passing the test, and that's it. But that's not how it happens with sales. So when Terry said my concern, like, voiced, it was kind enough to speak up, because it wasn't something I was going to be able to really formulate in my head at the moment. But he was like, Jennifer, we've talked about it. She's got some concerns about her ability to sell, or not her sales skills. She's worried about, that she doesn't have any, or whatever it was that he said. And I just thinking about it, I was like, that's not exactly right. It is, my concern is about my ability to sell. And usually my ability is not my concern on things. That's not generally my concern, but this time it is, because, and I was thinking about this a minute ago. I was in the bathroom, like, brushing my teeth, and I'm like, yeah, it's not my skills, it's my ability that I'm concerned about here. It's just like, and it dawned on me, it feels like gym class. Like, it really does. Being in this group, being in situations where they're talking about sales and real estate and markets and all this stuff, it feels like gym class. I just want to, like, I was like, can we take, like, a test on Renaissance Masters? Like, anybody want to take a test on, like, Ingrid, like Shakespeare? Anybody want to do some comparison about Shakespeare's Othello and, maybe one of his other tragedies, maybe one of the lesser known ones, like The Tempest? It's just you want to talk about The Tempest? Anybody? No? We're going to keep talking about sales? Great. So, sorry, I just think that's really funny. So, yeah, but what it feels like is I'm running, I'm running and I'm like, oh, I've got this, I know what I'm doing, and I'm running along, I'm like, yeah, I'm doing it, and then the entire class just kind of runs right past me and finishes all the way down the field and finishes, and I've still got more than half the field to run. That's what it feels like when I'm talking to these people. Not these people, but these people who know so much more about sales and get it. They get it. And I'm just I'm going to go over in this corner and paint a picture. Anybody want to come paint a picture with me? Cool. So that's my little spiel. And it's going to require some mindset shifting, because now that I've associated with gym class, I've got some real blocks going on. Because that's still an issue. I'm in my 40s and gym class is still an issue. But yeah, the analogy for gym classes wasn't a helpful one for me, because now I feels well, if it's gym class, why the hell am I bothering? That was my attitude in gym class. I'm not gonna get it. Why am I bothering? It's the only class I ever got a C in. But that can't be that way with sales. I have to keep going with sales. I have to keep doing. I'll get it. Anyway, the positive thing is this class that we were talking about tonight. The approach the guy was talking about to sales was much more, in the group that I'm in, the Alchemist Nation group, that's, wealth building and entrepreneurial endeavors and real estate and stuff like that. Whenever we talk about sales, we talk about service. But the emphasis, it was even more so with Mitch, whatever his last name is. I should really remember it, but I don't. And I felt more comfortable with what he was saying about it, about the concepts there, and about finding, they're all concepts that have been introduced to me, but he put them in a different way and took the parts I like about those concepts to a higher level. So I think that this can help me. So let's analyze, guys. I've not come up against, that's not the best way to phrase this. I have encountered a situation in which I do not feel that I have a natural ability in. And historically in my life, when I felt that I did not have a natural ability in things, I would just not do it. And not to this isn't a I don't know if you can hear that. This isn't a humble brag at all. It's more of a kind of thing. When I was younger, there weren't a lot of things I didn't get. So if there was something I didn't get, I just wouldn't try, because it didn't matter, because there were enough things over there that I was really good at that no one's going to notice, so I'm not good at this thing over here, so I'm not going to give it a go, right? Screw that. I only went after the stuff that I had the natural ability in and that I enjoyed. And that is not what life's about. Come to find out. So I am encountering something that I do not have a natural affinity for, or a natural, I don't know if it's an ability. It's a mindset thing. Because supposedly as a high I in the disc profile, I'm supposed to be a natural salesperson. And you know what? Like, here's the thing. Anytime I have been in sales, like retail sales, I've actually done, well, not even retail. Like, I worked at a store, a couple of stores in Florence, in Italy, when I was living in Italy. And then I was a ballroom dancer, a ballroom dancing teacher at one point, at a ballroom dancing school. And I was really good at sales there, but that wasn't really, to me, about sales. It was just about having fun and helping people, which apparently is the whole theory, like what people keep telling me that sales is about. But I'm just like, any other time that I've sold well, and I've done a good job. Like I was me and the manager of the store that I was in. We were the top. Like we had a little competition, but it was only because, it's like a performance for me, because there was like this little. So long as I'm telling you too many pointless details. There was like a little demonstration we gave at the store that for me was a performance, and then we helped the people on the floor get the coats they wanted, or whatever the case may be. And it was always me and the manager that were in the tops. And then at the ballroom dancing place, I was continuously the person with the most sales, because I was just like having a good time and teaching people to dance. It was really fun. So, but like now, so I get the concept that it's about serving people and, building relationships. Both of those things I can do. It's the like whole ask part. Because I never had to do the ask. People come into the store, people come into the ballroom dancing place, and they're there to buy things or to take ballroom dancing lessons, and I don't know. That's where I lose it. But it's a mindset thing, and I am applying myself. I am going to learn more about it. I am going to change. I am changing, not going to. I am changing my mindset around sales, and I am not even that. Like I don't. That doesn't even help. That thought doesn't even help. It's more like I'm going to listen to the people who. Clearly they know better than I do, but I don't know. One of the good things about my entry into this odd world where things are so different is that because I have so little experience. I've tried to start businesses before, I have, and they failed. I wonder why. But in this group, because I have so little relevant experience, I don't have a lot of preconceived notions to mess it up for me. Except for the whole thing around sales, right? So I'm pretty much like, people tell me to do something and I'm like, okay. Like, I have no idea, so I'll do what you tell me to. And I think that's a blessing in a lot of ways. But so, not but. So I think as I listen more to this way of thinking about sales and going about sales, I'm going to go back and listen to the class again. I think I am going to approach it with a more open mind than I was, and I didn't really kind of realize that my mind was as closed. Not even that, I'm not saying closed, but closed, around this subject. But I'm open to being more open about it. Let's just put it that way. I'm open to the idea that I've been closed, and to the idea of being more open around it. So, this is emotional growth, and that will translate to financial and business growth. So, yay me. Yeah, so let's break this down. So I've had these, maybe we could call them blocks around sales, thoughts certainly, mindset. What's the exact word that I'm looking for here? Beliefs. I've had beliefs about sales that I was unaware of, and that I'm becoming more aware of. And this can translate to other places in life, right? It goes back to the whole idea of assumptions. To assume makes an ass of you and me, right? Love it. I love that saying. I don't know why. I think it's so clever. It's really kind of stupid, but it's really cute. It's really funny. Anyway, we had this conversation before, guys, about assumptions, but you don't even realize you have them until you realize, oh, they're wrong. So this is a positive thing. I'm seeing some of my beliefs. And there were a lot of concepts from this evening that were very useful. When he had about like eye doctors, and changing the focus until you got it to until you see it into 2020 and find the right way of looking at things. Oh, it's coming to focus. It's good now. It hasn't come into focus yet, but the doctor's gone flip, and it's kind of like, boop, oh no. 1 is better than 2, or 2 is better than 1, or whatever the case is. So that's a positive thing. It's slowly, I'm not going to say surely, but it is slowly becoming slightly illuminated that I have certain beliefs in the area of sales that may have been holding me back. I don't know what holding me back, but may have been keeping me stuck. There's a lot of language also that, I've gotten, obviously, I get what that means, but there are times when you say something that all of a sudden the meaning becomes deeper. You know what I mean? Given what you're talking about, you're like, okay, yeah. Yeah. Beliefs that have kept me stuck. And you know what it is? It's because whenever I've heard beliefs that have kept me stuck, I'm aware of the beliefs that have kept me stuck. This is, I'm not just going to say the first time, but this is a time when I say beliefs that have kept me stuck in the midst of discovering a belief that I didn't even know, or an assumption, or a belief that I thought was knowledge about something that I'm coming to slowly understand is a belief that has kept me stuck. So, knowledge is power, guys. Continue thinking, think some more, and you realize some shit that is useful to move you ahead in life. So, this is something I'm going to be pondering in for the next few days over the holidays. And hopefully I can kind of crack that nut a little wider. So I am grateful for the class today. I'm grateful for Christine and Terry. I'm grateful for Mitch, whose last name I'm gonna learn after this. But I'm very grateful about that, and that's what I'm very grateful for that. I'm grateful for the ability to take that knowledge in and to process it. And I'm grateful that I am seeing things in a different way. And I'm grateful for the wherewithal to do that, because not all people really take the time to do that and examine their beliefs. So I'm grateful that I'm one of those people. And I do pray that more people start doing that, because it would be really a lot better on the planet if people did. Like self-examination, examining. Anyway, we don't have to get into that. That's not necessary. All I'm going to say is that I am grateful for all those things that I just mentioned. I'm grateful for the emotional growth that I have gone through and that I continue to go through. I'm grateful for you all out there who I can talk about these things with at almost midnight, just before I go into the other room at my parents' house. It's not exactly where I want to be, but I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed. I'm grateful for all of that stuff. And I'm grateful, you know what I am grateful for being at my parents, because they're getting older and I'm not going to have a lot more time. I mean, that's a horrible thing to say, but it's not going to be another 20 years, and I want to be here for them. And I'm grateful that I am able to be here for them. And in whatever form that has to take, given reality. So I am going to be grateful for all of that. And so if I can be grateful for staying at my parents' the age I'm at, in the way that I'm staying at my parents', which is, and this is embarrassing, but I'm going to tell you about it. So my parents it's a 2-bedroom condo. I'm up on the regular floor. Then there's it's one of those things where there's the downstairs, it's the basement, but because it's on a hill, the basement has, like a door that goes onto the porch. Anyway, we're on the top floor. And my mother's bedroom is there. My father, he sleeps in the bedroom downstairs. And so when I sleep here, I used to be able to stay on the couch, but now my parents got new couches. And they're not couches you can sleep on, so I'm not even going to say. Let's just put it, there's a cot I sleep on in my mother's room in this age. And I can be grateful for this, guys. I'm grateful for it, because given the reality of what the situation is, I still get to be with my parents. I can still get to spend time with them, see them. I can help my mother, and I'm grateful to have the ability and the opportunity to help my mother with getting ready for Christmas, because I know she's stressed out about it, and I can help her, and that makes me happy. And that's the difference. The whole the holiday thing's a different situation, but I'm grateful for all of it, even having to stay at my parents the way in which I have to stay at my parents in order for reality to be served, and for me to stay here, me being able to help my mother. So grateful for all of it. It was a really long thing I just did to get to this point. Point being, I want to say that if I can be grateful for staying here the way in which I stay here, then you should always remember that you can always choose to have a great full night.